Hey collective, welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday, July 27th. Lionsgate opens up Tuesday, July 28th tomorrow through August 12th, which is my birthday. So this is a good time for manifestation. This is a good time to sit and meditate, gain some clarity of self and who you are. Things that you want to do, your drive, your intentions in life, what you would like to see, outcomes you would like to see as part of your life. So this is not, or I should say this is a general reading. And I wanted to start this reading because as I was working today, sleepless nights kept resonating in my mind like over and over and over again. And so I wanted to hop on the table and see what those true emotions are. So I'm going to pull some oracle cards, starting with true emotions. I'm going to pull an oracle for abundant attraction. And then I am going to pull your angel number to try to gain an understanding of why sleepless nights is constantly playing in my head. And it's just the word, sleepless nights, sleepless nights. So it just leads me to believe that someone is struggling, that they're currently either in the hangman or in the five of swords, right? So just as I say that, spiritual, chaos, ego death, downward spiral, spiritual awakening. So this leads me to believe that this is your moment, right? Again, I talked about Lionsgate. So I know that for me, and I'm going to say when I was called, I was actually going through a very difficult part of life. Just in general, I was actually married, but it was towards the end of my marriage, and my marriage was not a good marriage. it was emotional abuse, it was physical abuse, it was abuse. And I remember, because I've always been a very spiritual person, I've always been an empath where I could just feel things and I could just sense things and I could just hear things. But I remember when I was going through this moment of my life, I was sitting on my couch and I was just rocking and I was praying and I was crying. And I could hear the great divine, Yahweh, tell me, these are not the plans that I have for you. These are not the plans that I have for you. And sometimes you have to be going through something. Oftentimes you're going through something chaotic. And then because you're in so much prayer and so much hope, you can hear him a little bit more clear, right? You can, depending on how close your relationship is, how deep your spiritualism is, you can actually hear the great divine speak to you as if he's sitting right next to you. But I feel like this reading, and the reason why someone is going through sleepless nights, is because they're probably going through a spiritual calling and they're struggling with it. Like, everybody's not ready, right? Everybody's not ready to do that work, and everybody is not ready to step off into what the divine is asking them to do. So this is what we call literally a spiritual awakening, right? And it starts with a struggle, I believe. It really does. You can go through it multiple times in life, different seasons of your life. And if you're truly supposed to be called somehow, some way, eventually that calling is going to get your attention. Because the great divine is definitely going to get out of you what he put off into you. And what I mean by that is that he has always had a plan for you from the moment of your birth. And whatever that plan was, it is his intentions very much so to get that out of you. And that may be the struggle today, or overnight, or something that someone is going through just in general. So, moving forward, we seek the great divine. And we asked him to come off into the room. We asked Yahweh to guard this reading, guide this reading, only in the way that he can. We seek our spiritual ancestors. And we ask them to rebuke any negative thoughts, any negative energy. We look to the Holy Spirit. And we ask that she provide her wisdom, only in the way that she can. We look to the angels. And we ask that they bless us with their kind words. So let's see what the abundant attraction has for us as we continue this reading. It's funny because it's interesting to me because when you first are called or start having spiritual awakenings, a lot of times it does scare people because you're wondering, like, what am I feeling? What am I thinking? It's kind of like a woman being pregnant and giving birth. It's like their clock is ticking. You know what I mean? And it's a good way to look at it when you think about giving birth, because you're birthing a new you. You're stepping into a new aura, right? And what better time to do that than in Lionsgate, right? Two cards actually popped out. So let's take them both, y'all. Let's see what they have to say. So the first one that came out is emotional mastery. How beautiful is she, honey? How beautiful is she? So when it comes to the abundant attraction cards, the purple cards that come out is associated with emotional expansion, love, positive relationship, affirming that you are in flow with depth, deep connections, and inner harmony. And I think both of these cards are absolutely beautiful, but the emotional mastery is one of my absolute favorite cards in this deck because this woman is, to me, is like the Empress, right? And it says, no amount of material success can bring lasting peace if you haven't cultivated it within. No matter how great your external ambitions may be, remember that mastery of your inner world is the ultimate achievement. And the next one is kindred spirit. Talks about sacred bonds are forming as the universe aligns you with kindred spirits who share your values and resonate with your energy. When two or more souls align with the shared purposes of manifestation, accelerates effortlessly. So I believe both of these cards are still on the line of a spiritual awakening, right? is mastering your emotions. And I was just speaking about how you can truly like feel. It's almost like when you're calm, you can feel the great divine or Yahweh literally tapping you on your shoulders. Like I said, when I was going through like one of the hardest part of my life, the sincerity was there. It was like I felt like he was just sitting right there talking to me, right next to me. And I've been through a lot of struggles in my life where I've cried out and I've reached out and I felt like he was just speaking to me. But I also know that I've always been covered by him. Like no one can tell me anything different. Like I've always been covered um, by by the Holy Spirit and his divine understanding and his divine guidance. So I am an individual who is very spiritual just in general, but I also believe in the Trinity. I'm not a religious person at all. I'm a spiritual person who believes in the Trinity. Um, and I trust the power of it, right? I still read my Bible, but I'm also an individual who doesn't like how can I say it? I said I wasn't a religious person, so I don't believe in the conflict of religion. And what I mean by that is that I truly don't believe in one religion being better than the next religion. I believe that there is an ultimate spiritual choice. I believe that the Trinity is of one, right? Of that spiritual that spiritual source. I believe I am of that spiritual source. And that's just how I go about life. So when we talk about spiritual awakenings and emotional masteries and kindred spirits, we are actually speaking about people who are unified and understands that there's a greater purpose here while on this earth. It signifies that we truly are chosen individuals and we are truly empaths of this earth that understands and can necessitate feelings as we garner ourselves through it. So I definitely see things a little bit different, and I feel like whoever this reading is speaking to, this is a calling for you, right? So let's see what the angel number has to say. Like it says, mastery of the inner world. The inner you is the ultimate achievement. One angel card. 3737 is your angel card. It talks about smiles. Share, smile, help, make a difference. Share your light and kindness with the world. Reach out to others with a smile. Offer a helping hand, and make a difference in the lives of those around you. I believe where there's the nature of kindred spirits and universal alignment comes into play. You know what I'm saying? I think it takes multiple of us to come together and, make this place a better place. You know what I mean? I don't think it's all written in the tarot. I think it's also within you. It resides within you. I think we're here to interpret what the tarot has to say and what it has to provide to us. And right now, it's saying that you're at a crossroad. which we initially talked about, the chaos that's going on in your mind, right? And, you have to put your ego down in order to truly walk on this path. Like this evolution of life is bigger than you. This evolution of spiritual understanding is bigger than you, and it's gonna take due diligence. It's gonna take passion for a higher understanding in order for you to truly understand and to tap into who you are supposed to be, right, as a resource on this earth. Through the process, there may seem like there's a level of deception there, right? But as a spiritual guide, it's important that you stand in your truth. Be your most authentic self. Like, you can't be that for anyone else. You can only be there for you, in order to serve others. And that's one of the reasons why being a spiritual guide is important, because you're of service to other people. Like, this is not any opportunity for you to be on an ego trip where others don't matter, right? And in some cases, with the Three of Swords, you may have to separate yourself from things that you're accustomed to doing, how you're accustomed to living. I don't necessarily think it would be, it's part of your struggle, right? It's definitely part of your struggle, and it's definitely part of what's keeping you up at night. Like, I feel like it's breaking your heart to trying to decide if this is something that you truly want to do. And, hey, all I can tell you is in time, right? In time. Because like I said, the great divine is going to get out of you what he placed in you. I feel like we were all put on this earth in this metric with a journey. Matrix with a journey. Like, you were all put here with a plan, a master plan. And eventually, if you are struggling with it, timing is everything, right? I mentioned on one of my last readings that one thing about the great divine is that he'll definitely call on you when he feels like he's ready, or when he feels like you're ready. And but if you make the decision, because we often try to do things that opposite of what the great divine wants of us, he'll take his hands off and allow us to walk through whatever the choices are we make. It doesn't mean that he aligns with it. It doesn't mean that he's leaving us. He's just going to let you make the decision of when you are truly ready to come back. It's kind of like a test of faith, right? Then you have the Queen of Cups, right? And that comes with your compassion, the comfort, the calmness, the nurturing that you have. So it's within you. It's within you. You're already a very intuitive person. You already know what the deal is. You just have to find the strength within yourself. And you just have to find the willingness, or the zeal, should I say, to actually want to put that sword down and fall in line, right? So the card at the bottom of the deck is Two of Cups. Unified love. And I think that unified love is not necessarily in regards to a couple, right? I really think this is about the relationship that the Great Divine wants to have with you in this moment, at this time, in this season of your journey, right? I feel like he's going to give you all the intuition and everything you need as you move forward, right? With the Hierophant. He's going to show you that your manifestation is real. Everything you need, everything you want, all the opportunities you need is there. He's going to show you what that fairness and balance is going to look like in your life. But this is also a time where he's requesting that you walk away from some things. With the Eight of Cups. So there's no force here, because the Great Divine never truly forces you to do anything, right? He leaves it as your choice of what it is that you want to do. But the fact that you're having those sleepless nights is obviously telling you that some decisions truly need to be made. This is so interesting. I've never ever done a reading where someone was truly being called in that reading. But I think it's a beautiful thing, right? I think eventually we all have to make a decision on which road we're going to walk on, and so on and so forth. And the last card with the final thought is Spell of Wisdom. The answers you seek live within. Honey, I promise you, I cannot make this up. I cannot. It's like I'm merely interpreting the cards. I'm not. My goodness, it says the answers you seek lives within. Be still, listen closely, and let your inner knowing rise to the surface. Namaste.